that in action. All right, quit staring at the cameras.
Good morning. How is the sound and the video? Are you picking us up, Preston?
I'm picking you all up.
Excellent. Good morning. Thank you for joining us for the Clear Creek Volunteer Fire Department Spring Meeting, April 10th, the year of 2021. How many people do we have viewing? Or should we give some people some time, or what should we do?
You currently have 5 people viewing, it looks like.
Do you want to wait a few minutes, or
5
just...
to 7 people, it looks like.
Oh, time you go through introductions and all that, give them some more time.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. I am Kevin Rowe. I am the chairman of the board, and we'll just go around and introduce everybody. Roger Erstad did not make it today. He is on vacation. So, start down here with Steve.
Steve Moore, Assistant Chief.
Sam Bonovich, Chief.
Bob Falanga, board member.
Tiffany Underwood, treasurer.
Indira Moyer, secretary.
And we have our tech gurus, Preston Rowe and Mike Underwood, making things happen. We have an agenda. We'll start off with introductions. We'll go through the minutes. We'll then have the treasurer's report. The treasurer will talk about subscription district update, 3-year financial analysis. Then we'll turn it over to the chief for the chief's report and the assistant chief. They'll cover Firewise stuff, Clear Roby Creek, and the Grimes Clear Creek area update. And then we will talk about our growth plan and the phone book / directory. Then we will open everything up to discussion if anybody has any questions or comments. And there should be an area where people can make comments and all of that to the right. Do they need to do anything particular to...
Nope.
They should automatically set up for them, right?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So we'll start with the minutes.
Here. Annual Community Board Meeting Minutes, April 11th, 2020, and that took place at Kevin Rowe's office. Call to order, 11 o'clock a.m. Due to COVID-19, meeting was live streamed on YouTube. The video is still available on the Homestead Court channel on YouTube. Board members present, Tiffany Underwood, Kevin Rowe, Sam Bonovich, Fire Chief, Steve Moore, Assistant Fire Chief, Roger Erstad. Absent, Indira Moyer, Bob Falanga. Quorum present, yes. Also present, Preston Rowe, Technical Advisor, Mike Underwood, Technical Advisor, and Jacob Pecora, Firefighter. Minutes of last year's meeting, provided by Indira Moyer and read by Roger Erstad. No changes or corrections. Motion to accept by Roger Erstad, seconded by Kevin Rowe. Treasurer's report, provided by and read by Tiffany Underwood. Discussion ensued on the cash numbers of the community gathering barbecue. We cleared a bit over $2,000 after expenses. Sam discussed expenses and said that we were getting support by way of subscription dues by 20% of the community. The other 80% are receiving the benefits without paying the subscription dues. Sam also noted that some people don't seem to realize what it takes to maintain and run a volunteer fire department. Roger noted that $75 per lot was a tremendous value for the services we provide. He encouraged people to support the fire department by paying their subscription dues. Kevin stated that any forthcoming information as to why someone wouldn't want to pay their subscription fees would be appreciated. If there is something we need to fix, it would be good to know. All residents are encouraged to come to the monthly board meetings and give us your input. Sam motioned to accept the treasurer's report. Roger seconded. Chief's report was provided by and read by Sam Bonovich. In service, Sam proceeded to name the trucks that we have, explain the type and what they do. He also pointed out that where we were saving money by doing the work ourselves. 701 structure engine type 2 in service, just needs minor maintenance, adding 4 scene lights shortly. 741 type 6 in service, bad ball joint 4-wheel drive went out over the winter. Mechanics said it'd be cheaper to change the manual lock-in hubs than to try to fix all that. 742 type 3 in service, main wildland engine needs minor maintenance, adding 4 scene lights to it shortly. 743 chase truck in service, needs new windshield and carburetor, and the brakes need looked at. 744 our newest type 6 in service. 720 tactical tender in service. Training, we've been working on wildland training with sand table exercises. We'll be going to Centerville again and picking up wildland training for the fire season. We'll throw in some structure training when we can. All our firefighters, with the exception of a couple new ones, are certified in essential structured firefighting. Assistant Chief's report, calls provided by Steve Moore. In 2019, we had 45 calls for service. 16 were calls for medical assist where EBCAP requested our help. Note, at this point, our live stream cut out and we had to log back on. We did 1 landing zone setup for light flight, 2 public assist, 2 illegal burns, 2 structure fires, 3 wildland fires, 1 campfire, 7 smoke checks, 7 traffic accidents. Mutual aid was given to 1 structure fire at Wilderness Ranch, 1 vehicle fire, Thorn Creek, 2 agency assists in which we helped the Idaho Department of Lands. We did some controlled burns in the Oahe Mountains and did 1 assist for Boise County Sheriff's Office for traffic control. So far this year in 2020, we've had 10 calls for service. We have 17 or 18 firefighters currently. Old business. The question was raised about fire mitigation, i.e. the Clear Roby project. There are still projects in Clear Creek that they didn't get to last year. Torch has picked up the contract and will finish the chipping and so forth that wasn't finished from last year. People who didn't have their slash piles taken care of last year really should wait for Torch to come by and take care of it. They have the equipment and the experienced personnel to deal with it, but when it comes down to it, it's your choice, but you're risking starting a fire. You don't need a burn permit until starting May 10th through October 20th. Discussion ensued on the issue of the airfill station, what needs to be done about getting that up and running. Discussion ensued on upgrades to Station 1 and its possible replacement. 1 of the doors was replaced this year. New business. Discussion on CCVFD elections. We aren't going to be able to hold a community vote due to COVID, so the status quo will remain until next year's meeting. Indra Moyer and Bob Falanga were up for re-election this year. Fire season. With conditions the way they are, a higher than normal fire season has been predicted. Everyone is encouraged to call in if they think they see smoke. We'd rather go out and find a false alarm than smoke not being reported and it turning into a major problem. Permits are free and online. Starting a fire that gets out of control will probably result in a fine and a bill for putting it out by whichever jurisdiction has to respond. And the burning permit process was discussed. The growth plan. Discussion ensued about the trucks we use. We are self-sufficient up to 12 hours. Grant dispensations were discussed, including radios purchased. Possible new grants were discussed. Currently, it costs roughly $4,000 to outfit 1 firefighter. Reason for switching to a subscription agency was discussed, as well as what had been accomplished by switching to it. The need for upgrades to Station 1 was brought up, as well as ways to contribute to the fire department. Meeting was adjourned at 12:40 p.m. by common consent.
Nice, thank you. Any questions or changes? Nope. Motion to accept?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Excellent. Treasurer's report.
So we have Clear Creek Volunteer Fire Department Treasurer's Report, fiscal year April 1, 2020 to March 31st, 2021. Account balances as of March 31st, 2021. Checking account, $12,147.03. Subscriptions, $5,078.32. Money market account, $17,997.95. Total account balances, $35,223.30. Income, fiscal year end, subscription dues, $21,194.43. Donations, $1,060. Frank Fish Memorial donations, $2,517. Interest income, $47.98. Grant for Idaho Department of Lands fire cash issue was $4,025. Miscellaneous deposits and reimbursements, $1,705.14. Total income for the year, $30,549.55. Expenses, fiscal year, utilities, $2,926.58. Fuel, $2,260.63. Education and training materials, $1,337.82. Dues, Boise County Firefighter Association dues, $50. State insurance fund for our workers' comp is $300. All-American Insurance, it's our commercial package, $3,187. Communications equipment, programming, software, $2,925.14. And then we had State of Idaho Department of Lands, the cash supply match for the grant, $6,008.80. Building materials maintenance, a generator for Firehouse 2, $1,151.70. Vehicle expenses, $6,992.81. We did purchase engine 701 this year for $13,000. That's engine 702. $13,004. Out of town expenses, some lodging and food, $394.05. Admin supplies, $5. We had PPE gear due to COVID-19, $157.28. And some legal and accounting for $470.20. Total expenses for the year, $41,171.01.
Nice. Any questions or changes outside of truck 701 to 702?
Nope.
Everything good?
We hadn't purchased that. We just about broke even.
Awesome. Tiffany, you're going to talk about the subscription district update.
So I've got a little bit. I just ran a percentage of an increase of money over the 3 years from 2017 to current for the subscription agency dues coming in. And we're about 31% as far as an increase. So that's good. And that includes, like I said, everything. That's the subscription dues, that's donations, barbecue money goes into that. So as a whole, it's all of it.
Awesome.
For that percentage. And this year we decided, it was suggested at a board meeting to hire out an accountant for a 3-year financial analysis of our subscription agency funds coming in, and to maintain transparency on all the monies that are coming in and going out. We hired Berman Solo and Associates to do this analysis from 2017 to 2020 fiscal year. And we'll post the official summary on our website and a few different other places. But bottom line on it came out from Berman Solo and Associates, subject financial record analysis and review. In our financial record analysis, we found nothing to be outside of the ordinary and everything to be properly reconciled and accounted for. This analysis was performed in multiple steps. These steps were performed over a 3-year fiscal period, including timeline 2017 to 2020. When comparing the internal records and external bank statements, the analysis was carried out over a month-by-month basis to ensure the timing of recorded income and expenses was correct. So the review came back. They had a handful of questions. Went back, answered all of those, and the review came back with everything in order and no questions. So I think we've been tossing around maybe doing that every 3 years, maybe a yearly, depending on how much the analysis is going to run us and how we feel the books need to be handled.
So you're saying over 3 years, nothing was missed. All the I's were dotted, all the T's were crossed, everything came out
Everything
just
was in
beautiful.
order. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep. Any discrepancies they had, we discussed, and by them not knowing, like I said, the donations and everything that goes into it, that was some of the questions that they had of what all went into it. And so, yes.
It's a complicated job. How long have you been the treasurer?
5 years? I lose track.
So that speaks highly of you, doesn't it?
This is like my A+ right here.
And what do you do
my
for a
report
living
card.
and for who?
I work for A1 Heating and Air Conditioning, and I'm the controller for the company.
Ah,
Been with them 20+ years, lost count of that too, after so long. So
wonderful.
I think that's why you're not going to get rid of me.
You're the only one who can add.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Anybody have any questions or anything for the treasurer?
Nope, because we're at that number, so. All right, so
We're good.
yeah, so we
So
just,
Chief's report's next.
yeah, so only, other than had we not bought that truck in November, then we'd about broke even on what we brought in then. So-
But we
Spending
own
money.
the
Oh,
truck.
right, so, yeah, which I'm gonna cover here
Yep,
later
exactly.
on. So, yeah,
All right, man.
all right, so for trucks and equipment, engine 741, which is a Type 6 engine, quick response, in service. The mechanical stuff that came up on last year's records were taken care of. We ended up changing out the passenger side axle, had a bad upper ball joint, and what else and the upper pump on the engine. So that was reconciled, so this truck is all up and running and ready to go. 742 is Type 3 Wildland engine, 1,200 gallons. We haven't had any problems with that truck. It's been set up all winter long to support structure engine. 702. So 742 is all set up, ready to go. 743 is our chase truck. That's the 77 Dodge we got from Centerville that we built, took it and did a lot of work on it, and runs great. So that truck is set up to follow and support our engines wherever we go. So it carries 100 gallons of diesel with electric pump. We got 20 gallons of regular gas on there, and then extra hose, MREs, fittings, tools, and it can also then transport our draft sites or anything else we need to move or move firefighters. So that's the purpose of that truck, is to support all our engines in the field, which keeps us in the field. 744, which is my partner Steve's truck, is another Type 6 engine that we purchased a couple years ago at auction, and just about completed building. We've got light bar and siren or something. Yeah. But other than that, the truck is all finished and in order and running. And engine 702 is the engine that we purchased right in November out of Scamosh, Washington, from a department there, out of a big fire district. They were selling it for 16. They gave it to us for 13, and they left everything on it. So they left trucks, ladders, hose. We probably got another $4,000 worth of equipment that came with that truck. We drove it back. It's a diesel 2-wheel drive, but it's a standard transmission split shift. So it'll go anywhere it needs to go here in Clear Creek. It's a short wheel based truck. 500 gallons like the last truck, only this one has a foam unit and pump and roll capability, which the other truck didn't have. And it's a 1995. Also, it's the first crew cab truck that we've ever owned. So we can carry a full crew of 5 in it now when it runs. Brought it all the way back, ran great, have no problems, still running great. We still got some outfitting to do before fire season hits, but I think it's going to be a great truck. And then the tactical tender 720 up in Forest Highland. It's all set up. It's been ready to go. Plugged in all winter long in the building up there. So that truck, we've unchained it. It's ready to go. So all 6 trucks, everything we have right now is in the field and ready to go. We're about ready to pull some chains off today so we can move a little faster. So all our equipment is in order and running. All our calls. So Steve Moore, partner, he takes care of all our runs. And his wife Jean enters everything in the nippers for us. So I'll let him take that in training.
For 2020 incident reports, we had a total of 43 calls for the year. Medical and ambulance assist was our biggest load with 13. We did 3 landing zones, just for landing zone for the ambulance. We had 5 traffic accidents. We were lucky with no structure fires. We had 2 possible structure fires where people called in and saw flames around a structure and figured it might be a structure. We had 4 wildland incidents. We had 1 that we could not find. We had 6 smoke checks, 3 illegal burns, 1 unattended campfire, 1 public assist, 1 agency assist. We had 1 mutual aid structure fire to Wilderness Ranch, mutual aid wildland fire to Idaho City, and 1 mutual aid log pile fire to Roby Creek. So far in 2021, we've had 11 calls, mainly ambulance and medical assists. As for training, our winter training, we've been working in Centerville with Centerville Fire, and we've been doing scenarios, sand tables to get our response up and training the newer people in how to determine what's needed in calls. Summer plan is going to be more of the same. We're going to be doing our wildland training. We'll find some places like last year we found a place up off of Homestead where we were able to run a full scenario with, and we had Idaho Department of Lands join us with an engine and a crew and simulated a wildland fire and an injury. Right now we are working on our training of our new folks for the wildland S130 190 course. We've got 2 people in Centerville currently taking that. Our wildland refresher course will be on May 1st, and that'll allow us to go out and help on agency fires in our area. In June, we are having an emergency vehicle operations course so that we'll be trained in the proper use of Code 3 running. May, we have the 8th annual all-county May exercise this year, and we're going to be hosting, or Garden Valley is going to be hosting that. So that'll be in May. Other than that, training continues on a monthly basis.
Yeah, so this summer, we'll be continuing doing live training, scenarios, scripted. Our training officer isn't here, but him and Steve and I get together, come up with our scenarios. He scripts them and keeps a timeline. So this year we'll again be working with Centerville and Thorn Creek with live training and trying to utilize all our departments. So as not to bore our guys with wildland all year, we're going to be working with car accidents, structure fires, and wildland, and we'll probably have some more incident within an incident. So we're going to be covering all the things that we would do normally instead of just concentrating on one. Most of the guys are pretty proficient at the wildland now, so to break up the monotony, we're going to mix things up a little bit this year.
Well, just to interrupt you for a second here, about how many firefighters do you have on your roster right now? I know it's a moving target a little bit.
I want to say 18.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
I want to say 18.
Somewhere around 18. That's awesome. Excellent.
So, yep, they all work hard. Everybody's helped with the equipment and setting things up. So, no, they're a really good group of guys.
Absolutely.
And gals.
Gals.
And
Yeah, sorry, ladies.
Yeah. So you wanted to talk about Firewise stuff, Clear Roby Creek and Grimes Clear Creek update. I don't know what you would like to do first.
Go ahead with the Grimes Creek project there that we were working on.
The Grimes Creek project, which started late spring, early summer last year, which was brought on with the Sheriff Scott Turner, partnered up with the Forest Service and Clear Creek, and to solve some of the camping / trash issues along Grimes Creek and Clear Creek. So the planning started, like I say, late spring, early summer. We're working with the Forest Service. I think the plan came into starting to implement it for Labor Day weekend, where they started barricading areas off for non-camping areas, signage, placing rocks, and they were going to do some planting, but October came and we had an early freeze, and the planting was unable to do that. So they're planning here shortly, once we're out of danger of freezing, to start planting along the big area by the landing zone on Clear Creek and some of the other areas. There's still rocks and gates to be put in place. Where the K-rail is at the helicopter landing, they're going to put a gate in there so we can land multiple helicopters if needed and get to them with ambulances or vehicles. So there's still more to go on turning the soil, planting rocks and gates, and we want to finish the first step, which is what's currently blocked off now before we continue down the road, and we get that all planted, rocked, and signed before we continue working down Grimes Creek. This is basically going to be about a 3-year plan. We're going to start on Monday with this year's planning, trying to, again, get things planted and then turn some areas back into day use, organize camping, and then progress down Grimes Creek towards Max Creek and close off other areas. But initially, we want to finish this first step and get it going. Sound good?
Covers it all. And again, yeah, like you said, it's just going to be a good 3-year project to complete it, and cut down on a lot of the camping and turn it into day use. So hopefully in the end, and that's what Scott's looking to clean that up too as well, for safety for his officers. So
Yeah, major law enforcement was needed on that road.
yeah, all the time. So all right. So what are we on next then, Kevin?
Firewise or Clear Roby Creek.
All right, so I'll connect those two together, Firewise and the Clear Roby.
Cool.
So Firewise work for everybody. You know, when you buy property up here, it's your responsibility to clean up around your house and give us a minimum of 30 foot around your house, cleaning up your brush and stuff. Now, I'm not saying cut all your trees down, limb them up, but clean up the ground a minimum of 30 feet in your driveways and your approaches to give us better access. Also on the Firewise part of it, a lot of our roads are already narrow, and a lot of the willows and other brush is creeping up on the roads and make it more narrow. But also the hazard of that is if we do get a sustained fire that's running, it's going to make it a lot easier for these fires to just keep jumping the roads and keep moving. So our next goal on Firewise in the community as far as roads go is to try to clean some of this stuff up. Johnson Creek, Timberline, stuff like that, some stuff in Big Springs. So the county has a Bobcat with the chain thrasher on it. So I'm working with Trinia to see if we can't get that up in here. We'll have to work with the homeowners. It's on road easements, but it's still their property. but we'd like to get a lot of that stuff out of the ditch lines and cut stuff back if we can. Say it makes it easier for us to move the trucks, makes it safer for us, and it'll help us to contain fires as well. So again, fire-wise in all your homes, that is the homeowner's responsibility. We're always there to help you. All you got to do is call myself or Steve. You want your phone number out there?
Sure.
So yeah, my number is 208-392-4259. My partner Steve's is 208-392-6615. So anytime, you have questions about your property or what you need to do, or you think you might need some help, all you got to do is call us. We'll come look at it and try to help you out. And if you need some help, we'll help you out with that. Because if it's safer for you, then it's going to be safer for us. On the Clear Roby project, they're still going to be finishing up some burning here in the beginning that they didn't get done before snowfall. And then they will be picking it up again. But this time, the grant has changed. So the first grant money given by the Forest Service, that money has been used up. They have more money that is tied into the Bogus Basin, Forest Service Bogus Basin project. So on that money, the difference this year is if she comes out and looks at your property and they give you a price to do what you want to do, any kind of cleaning and thinning around your house or what you want done, whatever the cost will be, it's going to be a 10% match. So if they tell you it's going to be $80 to do what you want, it's going to cost you $10. $8. I was going to say 80, but yeah, I meant 800, and it would cost you.
Yep.
So yeah, so there is a 10% match to whatever that number is. So if you want work done, and we can, and I'm usually with Turnia, but we can come look at it too, and try to see exactly what you need to get you the best bang for your buck at the lowest price, so it doesn't get too big to where people don't want to do it. We don't want to scare people off, so we really want to manage how much work is going to get done and make sure it's proper work that's going to protect your house.
And who do they contact for this?
That would be Trinia Richardson. She's the Boise County Forester. So
Boise County Forester. How do they
Forester.
find her? Just Google Boise County Forester.
Forester, yeah, or you can call the sheriff's office and they'll get her for you.
Okay,
So yeah.
nice. Burn season, permits, that kind of stuff. What's the latest with that right now? We're good
So
to
in
burn
with
right
that,
now.
Yeah, no, right now is open burning. So you can burn your slash piles, pine needles and everything without a permit right now. You do need to call the sheriff's office. We all appreciate it, the fire department and the sheriff's. If we would just call them up, let them know you're burning, they'll just ask your name and phone number so they know. So that way they know you're burning. And if you would call us, we know you're burning, then we know exactly where you're at. And all that is to give heads up. So if people see smoke and report it, we all know where it's at. And we know it's not actually a structure fire or a wildland fire. We know it's somebody burning. Permit season starts, I want to say May 10th or
May 10th,
10th.
October 20th.
Yep, to October 20th. But come July 1st, the permit, so you can burn from now. Come May 10th, you'll need a permit. That runs to July 1st that you have permits to burn. And then from July 1st, though,
To October 20th.
to October 20th, then there is no burning or permits. We're discussing changing something about that, but right now, they're just going to leave it the same. We feel it's a little bit confusing. We just soon have permits all the time, then you don't have to worry if it's permit season or not permit season. So trying to work that out. So yeah, but right now, being out, we've done some test burns on some of our different properties and have burned some slash piles, and believe it or not, they took off pretty quick and hot. Some of the ground we've lit and burned took off fast that's been open early here and had time to dry out. So as you're burning, make sure you're being safe. Try to have a water supply, a hose, if not a fire extinguisher, and some tools. Before you light your slash piles, you might want to try to put a line around it, dig a dirt line around it a little ways. So if it does get out of control, you can try to keep it contained. So just be safe. It's early, but stuff is drying out very quickly.
Excellent. Thank you. Anybody have any questions or anything? Nope. Growth plan.
Okie dokie. And yes, dear, I'll try to make this go as fast as I can.
Take your time. I was
I know.
We're good. We're 35 minutes in, so we're still in good shape.
All right. So back in 2014, we took stock of everything we had, and we never really had any kind of a plan. We're still working on it, developing, but a plan to grow the fire department, as in equipment, buildings, tools, training. So we started this growth plan in 2014, and that's why we brought Roger in to help us develop a plan that we could move forward with. So here's how it went. So the executive summary is: the Clear Creek Volunteer Fire Department shall strive to protect the lives, property, and to serve in any capacity necessary the community of Clear Creek. The CCVFD will provide wildland and wildland interface firefighting, structure protection, and structure firefighting. The CCVFD will provide mutual aid and assistance to all county, state, and federal resources. We are committed to the needs of our residents and will do so to the best of our abilities. The Clear Creek Volunteer Fire Department is a nonprofit, non-political organization incorporated with Idaho Secretary of State's office and is organized to benefit the community of Clear Creek, Pine Creek, and Max Creek. The organization operates with monies derived through subscription dues, donations, and grants. And members of this organization serve on a voluntary basis, so nobody on this department gets paid. The protection area boundaries are from Clear Creek Summit, proceeding east to Grimes Creek, and from Highway 21 intersection, proceeding north to Max Creek, including Pine Creek. In addition to the boundaries described above, the Clear Creek Fire Department may enter into mutual aid agreements with Idaho Department of Lands and neighboring fire departments. The purpose of the business plan is to describe CCVFD services, identify existing equipment and/or facilities capable of providing services, and establishing a prioritized list of new or upgraded material items to enhance services, training, and/or facilities. General maintenance and reoccurring expenses will be identified in the annual budget. The business plan should be updated on an annual basis. The business plan should be presented at the annual meetings. So when we first did this in 2014, didn't move fast for the simple reason that at fundraisers, the last few we did, we brought in 8,000 one year, 8,500 the next. Previous years of that, it was 3,000 or 3,500. So getting going, we really didn't move much because we didn't have the money to really grow or do anything. So the first part of this was vehicles. So vehicles, engine 741, again is a Type 6 engine, runs with 190 gallons. It's got a light engine pump on it, so it's only 50 gallons per minute with a heavy duty winch, 4-wheel drive diesel. So the purpose of the Type 6 engines, so we have 2 Type 6 engines, are for a quick response, and we also use them as patrol or command vehicles. So last year and the year before with these 2 engines we had 3, 4, 5 small fires in Clear Creek that started off small, or 1/16, 1/8 of an acre. And by having 2 of these trucks now, Steve and I were able to get there quick ahead of the other trucks and take a lot of steam out of the head of the fire and slow things down to give the other trucks a chance to get on scene. And we're able to take care of them with no mutual aid and without any problems. So the light trucks come in really valuable, especially here with our roads the way they are. So assessment 741 is in good running condition and has fulfilled all expectations or requirements. So like I say, last year, after the season was over, Marvin Jennings handled all of our mechanic work over the winter time. So he did all the work on this truck and fixed the axle, the upper ball joint, brakes, everything we needed to get done with the exception of the upper pump, which we had to take in. Current equipment on that is the 100-gallon slip-in unit, 300 foot of 1-inch hose, and a small assortment of nozzles, 24-inch chainsaw needs. So the slip-in unit in this truck is owned by Idaho Department of Lands, not Clear Creek Fire Department. And that'd probably, for our own slip-in unit with a good pump and a bigger tank, is somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000, depending on what we would buy. So that's 741. 742, the truck housed here in this building is our main Wildland engine. 1972 6x6 2.5 ton military, 1,200 gallons of water capacity, 100 gallon per minute pump. The truck is in good running condition. Other than our emergency brake, I don't think we've ever had any problems with this truck. Limitations is it has manual steering, so limits your maneuverability within tight roads of our protection area and its high center of gravity. Current equipment on it, we have our hose box with our supply line. That comes out of it quick, it's already pre-connected. What we've got on here. Let's see, what's he got on these? So on this truck, though, it's our main engine. We had Mr. Bronson, Mr. Abbott build us a rack to go on the back of this truck. So in this rack, we carry 5 what we call hose packs, which are, you can quickly deploy them. They have 100 foot, each one has 100 foot of supply line with a Y reduced down to a 1-inch 100 foot attack line with the nozzle. So everything is all set up. All you got to do is hook it, run it out, drop it, turn your water on and go. The next guy can hook up and go. So we have 5 packs. We have 8 extra rolls of 1.5 100 foot long, 8 rolls of 1-inch line extra. Carries 1 2-inch trash pump, a portable foam unit, shovels, Pulaskis, McLeods, everything we need to fight fire. So one of the needs identified when we first did this plan was the storage rack for the back of the truck. That was something we needed. That was taken care of, like I said, by Mr. Bronson, Mr. Abbott. The mobile radio was replaced, which we'll get into that in the end. And then we still were looking for a foam proportioner unit, estimated cost $1,000 to make this a foam capable truck. 743 again would be the chase truck I talked about, that which is all set up to follow us and support us wherever we go. I'm not going to go through the whole list. It has everything on it to support our trucks, as in again, all extra hose, extra hand tools, nozzles, traffic cones, MREs, everything we need to stay in the field, plus 100 gallons of diesel fuel, 20 gallons of regular fuel. Needs, mobile radio, done, spotlights, done. These are all needs that were identified in the 14 plan.
And things that have been completed.
Yes,
When you
these
say
are
done,
things,
these-
right. So yeah, these were on the needs list from 14. So yeah, the mobile radio's been replaced, spotlights are done, overheads are done. Leaf springs and shocks were done last year in the end, and the muffler. So that truck is all up, and we also replaced the carburetor. So it's up and running, really nice old truck. I like those old trucks, they're made for these roads. 744 is the other Type 6 engine. It was something else we identified at the time was needing another smaller engine for quick response in the neighborhood. So engine 744 is my partner, Steve Moore's truck. He operates that. It's a 2008 Ford, 1.5 ton, 4-wheel drive diesel Type 6 engine. This is the more attack truck rather than the one I operate. He has 300 gallons of water with 150 GPM pump on it. And we tested it out last year on a fire off of Grimes Creek with IDL. And how many?
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet. Across the river and then up the hill. And that pump pushed it just fine. And is in excellent running condition and has also surpassed its expectations. Steve's done all his own plumbing and setting that truck up. And we just got the light bars and the siren left to put on that truck. Other than that, it's been fully functional all winter, parked outside today and ready to go. All right, engine 702 now. It used to be 701. We have it parked out front, but they say we can't open the door. You wouldn't be able to see it. So 702 is a truck. The truck I told you we picked up out of Scamosh, Washington and brought back. 1995, 2-wheel drive. I can hear you down there in Dira. 2-wheel drive truck. It's a standard transmission, split shift transmission though. So we can get around the neighborhood anywhere we need to go in the summertime without a problem. Truck also has a foam cell in it, so it has foam capabilities, and it also has pump and roll capabilities, which the old military truck didn't. Still has 500 gallons and a 250 gallon per minute GPM pump. Purpose of 702 is a multi-purpose vehicle capable of both wildland and structure firefighting. It can carry a sufficient wildland hose. Carries everything we need to do, short story, for both wildland and structure. Not going to go through all that. Carries the equipment to support structure firefighting. Must be supported though by either engine 742 or the tactical tender 721, because it only has 500 gallons. Limitations again, storage capacity. Assessment, it's in really good running condition. It's a short wheelbase, so it makes it very maneuverable in our neighborhood and is a valuable interface truck and for rural structure firefighting. And again, I won't go through the whole list, but it carries everything we got. 800 foot of supply structure hose, 700 foot of attack, 500 foot of 1.5 wildland, 500 foot of 1 inch wildland, high pressure, and then 400 foot of 1 inch regular wildland, and then all your nozzles, fittings, everything that's on there. Fire extinguishers, Genelite, air packs, cordless tools, everything on this truck. The great thing about this truck, again, I think I mentioned it before, it has a crew cab, so now it can carry a full crew of 5 without anybody sitting on anybody's lap. So the tactical tender 720 is the truck we got, I want to say in 2015 through a grant for $265,000, stationed at Station 2 in Forest Highland. We built that building to house a bigger truck. It's got the 12 by 12 tall door, so it fits up there. So 2015, it's a 2015 International 4-wheel drive diesel, 2,500 gallon capacity, 500 gallons per minute, 20 gallon foam cell, front water monitor, front bumper spray nozzles, 200 foot rear hose reel, and water monitor on the front as well, and with pump and roll capabilities. Its primary role is water support, so it is set up for structure and wildland, but its primary role is water support to these other trucks. So should we get a structure fire with 702, that truck would come down and it would be on scene before we were out of water to tie in and support that truck. So that's why we keep our main engines down here where the vast majority of people live, because we can start anything we need with these 2 trucks, and before we run out of water, the tender will be on scene. Limitations again is its size. So it'll get up these roads. It's just going to take it some time, probably lose some paint. And then its high center of gravity. Assessment, excellent running condition, no mechanical issues so far, and has fulfilled all expectations. Current equipment, the hose bed, we're carrying 1,000 foot of 2 3/4 supply, 1,000 foot of 1 3/4 attack for structure, 200 foot of 1.5 wildland hose, 200 foot of 1 3/4 attack hose, and then all our nozzles and fittings again. 4 air packs, 4 extra bottles for them. It carries its own 3-inch trash pump, so it can refill itself wherever it's at. 24-foot ladder, 12-foot roof ladder, and again, everything it needs to do for structure or wildland. It's always set up the same to do both, so it's always ready to go. But its main purpose is support. Facilities. Station 1, which is the main house here that we're at right now, owned by Clear Creek. This building was put up. I started in 2005. It was put here before that. I think they raised it up and put it on these cinder blocks to get the doors high enough to get a truck in. So I'm really not sure how old this building is. It's maybe somewhere between 15 and 20 years old. So Firehouse number 1 serves as the primary facility for our main engines for winter month operations. Is utilized for training, monthly board meetings or director meetings, and annual community meetings. Limitations, the width and height of the main doors limits type of trucks that may be used or parked in here. And the building is old and deteriorating and needs to be rebuilt. Our front corners are starting to crack out. We're going to see what we can do today or this year to keep it going for a while. It also contains most of our excess replacement hose, wildland PPE, and all our hand tools. So we keep a supply of that here, as well as Station 2. Station 2 is also owned by Clear Creek Fire Department. Station 1 is 1,100 square feet. Station 2 is only 640 square feet. Heated building as well, with a diesel generator for backed up power. Station 2 is built to house the bigger engine, extra tools, holes, and equipment. Firehouse 2 engine, tactical engine is 720, has provided structure and wildland services to the upper end of Clear Creek. So up there we have Forest Highland and Timber Mountain Ranch, and then the upper end of Clear Creek have no equipment up there. So that's the other reason we station the tactical tender up top, is because it can do both wildland and structure. So if it's a structure fire, we can run with that truck and take it on while we're waiting for the support of the other trucks and the other people. Or it can pull out and do wildland all by itself until support comes because of its gallonage of water. Assessment of Firehouse 2 is still a little bit of a work in progress. From the needs list, which I'll cover here, while we're on it, I'll get to it, but it's pretty much all done. In contents, again, it stocks more excess hose and equipment up there. The needs, at the time in 14, the building was up, so at the time, the needs in 2014 was pour the concrete floor, apron, sidewalk, and stoop, so that has been done. The electrical work has been done. The insulation and drywall is done. So we're just finishing up in there. We got taping and some minor work to do up there. So other than that, and then get cleaned up outside. We got some work outside to do on our tanks and stuff that are up at, which isn't on here as well. Station 2 in Forest Island also has 2,000 of gallons of water in the ground with its own well to refill and sustain these tanks, which was put in order to build Forest Highland. So that's Station 2. And then the last part of this growth plan was communications. This one is quick and easy. So all our other old radios, when we switched over to narrowband stuff, we couldn't afford the kind of equipment we have now, so we had to find what we could online. They sufficed for the couple of years until this radio grant came up. So in 2015, 2014 I think it was, there was a regional radio grant written by David Haney for all the fire departments up here on the mountain, from Roby Creek to Garden Valley to Lowman, for all the departments that are part of the Boise County Firefighters Association. Came with a 10% match. So at that time, we jumped on that and took full advantage of it. And so what we received in this grant was 25, which we showed them last year, 25 new handheld radios with accessories, 25 pagers, 6 new mobile radios for all our engines, 1 base unit, and then we also got 4 BK handheld radios so we can work with the agencies, IDL, Forest Service, and BLM. These radios have some capabilities that our handheld radios don't. So in that plan, the needs was to replace all of our communications equipment. That has been done. We can still fully outfit 5-6 firefighters with Wildland PPE and communications. We have no more structured PPE left to be able to outfit anybody. So all our communications has been fully updated. We bought the computer hardware cables. Mike Underwood, who's off scene over there, another techie of ours, he handles all our communication needs. So we no longer have to bring all our radios downtown and have to pay to have our programming done. And it gets done now instead of having everybody bring their radios in and take them down and bring them back. So it's made a huge difference by having Mike on the department to handle all our computer needs. So that one was easy. We did this one. Hold on 1 second. So, okay, guess we're going into, that's all part of the growth plan then, to talk about why we went to the subscription. What's that? Right, Kevin?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Right. So the reason we had talked about it last year, we switched to a subscription agency because the funding just wasn't there with the fundraisers. The last two, like I said, we brought in $8,000 one year, $8,500 the next. So there was no way we were ever going to grow. So I started on this department in 2005. So I've got 15 years on this department. In the first 11 years, till we started the subscription agency, we didn't grow at all because we had absolutely no money. Whatever we brought in on the fundraiser and whatever we still had from the year before, we would pretty much sit on, use for some training, maybe get a small grant through IDL for Wildland PPE or needs that we may have. Then we saved up for fuel, any mechanical work that may come up, and bills, and hope that nothing big happened to a truck that was going to cost a lot of money to fix. But we had no way to grow. At that time, all the equipment that we had 6 trucks at that time, and all the trucks were owned by Idaho Department of Lands that we received through the federal excess program. So we owned none of our equipment. So since we started the subscription agency, we did 4 years, so we're in our 5th year, yes. Mm-hmm. So in the first 4 years of being a subscription agency, we were able to afford the match for all our communications. I think we spent almost $45,000 on communications and then provided the match for that.
So that wasn't 45,000 from Clear Creek Volunteer Fire
Correct.
Department though.
The match was 10%
So we were
Put
able
up-
to acquire $45,000 worth of equipment
for
for
$4,500.
$4,500.
Correct.
Gotcha.
And replaced everything we had, plus got stuff we've never had.
Excellent.
So now, since we've started, Nancy Bedard at the time had us save our first year's dues. So then the second year, when the money started coming in, Kevin suggested it's time to start spending money and updating equipment and buying things that we really needed, just to try to get us up and going quick. So now what we've accomplished to this point, we have 5 engines in the chase truck, so 6 pieces of equipment. Clear Creek Fire owns all this equipment except for engine 742, which is still a piece of FETM equipment through IDL. So now we own everything, which we've never owned before. In this time,
By we, I'm going to interrupt you. By we, that means the community. Yeah.
Correct.
So that's not
Yeah, not the fire department.
right. So you guys own
Yes.
everything.
Yeah, there you go. And this is what you've accomplished. So, some of the money we've spent over the last 4 years this is all stuff that was on, also as well, was identified on the needs list, and it's always been on a wish list. So, the fill station up at Station 2 to fill all our structure air bottles and our air packs, we always had to take them downtown or take them somewhere. So we purchased a fill station for $6,500, which is set up in Station 2.
Repeat.
One moment, we're having some technical.
Oh,
There you go. Okay, you guys tell me about that.
so where should I start? Go back to the fill station? I just go, are we good?
Yeah,
You
we're
can-
good.
Okay, so I'll go back, this case got cut off. Fill station, Station 2, 6,500. So that's done, that was identified on the growth plan. A new engine, which we got done, we bought that for $13,000. We've never dreamed of spending that kind of money, we never had it. My partner's truck, the other Type 6 that my partner operates, I think we've got, we bought that truck for $15,000 at auction, and then to outfit it, we've probably spent another $10,000. So we've got somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 wrapped up in that truck. Everything paid out of pocket, which we've never been able to do. Mechanic work, we've got about $5,000 into that. We bought a diesel generator for $600 at auction for backup power for Station 2. We were never able to acquire one yet for Station 1. And so that was some of the big stuff that we've spent over the past 4 years to get us where we're at right now, which are all things, building Station 2, concrete, all these things were paid for out of pocket and all done in a 4-year period, where in the past, in 11 years, we did absolutely nothing. Anything we got, it was by beg, borrow, and steal. IDL.
Beg, borrow.
Huh?
Beg and borrow.
Oh, yeah.
You just stayed afloat, basically.
Right. Well, I probably pinched 1 or 2 things from the Forest Service out in the field, so yeah. So stuff we got from the state and from Forest Service, they do, I didn't take stuff. They donate, and they're gonna throw stuff away. They'll give us hose, they're gonna throw away fittings, they're gonna get rid of. So when they come with that, they'll call and we'll take it, and then we share with the other departments around us. So in 4 short years, we've grown substantially. We have excess wildland gear, packs, clothes, everything we've never had. So now, right at the moment, the big money we're looking at on our needs list, we bought another 3-inch pump, which was on the needs list, trash pump for filling trucks. We had more needs, but right now our biggest 2 needs that we're going to concentrate is just cleaning up the appearance of this house, but this firehouse doesn't have long to live. It needs to be rebuilt. We can get a zero clearance permit to build to the property line and get a little wider and get a little more room in here and fit a little more gear. Trying to find another lot anymore that we could afford is not going to happen. So we're just going to have to build on the same footprint, try to get a little bigger. And then the next biggest thing we need to do is another grant for structure PPE. We need to replace everybody's structure PPE, boots, pants, coat, helmet, gloves, as well as air packs and air bottles. We have, I want to say 10 or I want to say we got about 6 air packs and 6 with 12 bottles, the 6 spares that have a lifetime warranty. All the other stuff we have is, I think we have 1 year left in the 45s, and then they're out of service, and all our other bottles that we have that have fiberglass are out of service. So we only have, like I say, 6 or 8 packs that we can use right now in structure. So those are the 2 biggest things on the growth plan that we're going to look at here over the next few years. And again, to do this, it just depends on what comes in subscriptions and what we can come up with on the outside to make some money. So that's one thing we've learned to do is adapt and improvise. So we'll come up with other ways. So again, we've come leaps and bounds in 4 short years from where we were. So we really need to keep that coming. There's still a lot of people out there that either don't know about the subscription district or don't understand it. Addresses when we send out, we're still getting back. So we're going to go out and get properties and the addresses of people. We get our stuff from the county. I don't know why we're still getting so much wrong stuff, but we're going to try to get some more out there once we identify the wrong ones to people to make sure they're getting them. I think we ought to post that again on Nextdoor and in our other things.
I think so too.
To make sure that if they're not getting it, get us an address that we can get you something or request
Email
it.
us.
Yep, and email us and get it to us. And then hopefully this year then when we get started with our monthly board meetings, we're going to clean up our sign outside and put a new board, and we'll start advertising the monthly meetings. They're every third Wednesday of each month, so we'll try to post it at
7 p.m.
7 p.m. at
here
night.
at
We'll try to post it at Grimes and Clear Creek and at the firehouse to remind people. A lot of new people. We really need the people to come in and tell us what you want to see from us or ask questions. We really need to hear from you. Again, like Kevin pointed out, this is your fire department, not ours. So you
Yeah,
need to,
we will come and go. The fire department will stay here. But over the years, we will come and go in one form or another.
right, but there'll still be somebody here. So if we don't know what your needs are, then all we can do is guess and proceed forward with what we see and what we think is needed. So we really need to hear from the people to give us some kind of direction. That will also help with the growth plan. Then, if we have a direction and we know what's needed.
Along those lines, that might be a good segue into Mike had mentioned that he would like very much if somebody was good with social media. He would love to talk to somebody about being a social media volunteer that can oversee things like the Facebook page, Nextdoor, maybe
Get the website.
stuff, that kind of thing. So if you or anybody you know is very good at social media stuff, please message us either via YouTube, Facebook, whatever, and we'll go from there. What else?
That's all I had.
You did?
on the agenda.
I've got a note here about the phone book
Phone
/
gave me
directory. What did we want to talk about with that?
Sounds like some people have been interested in a new directory.
Okay.
So anybody that wants to be in the directory, what do we say? Email us, reach out, phone numbers, phone call us, whatever, and we can maybe start to do another directory. And then we would also appreciate anybody that wants to advertise in the directory. And then advertisements, pretty cheap, half page, full page. I'll get the prices. I don't remember what we charged before, but last time we did the directory, the advertising paid for the directory. So it worked out really well, I think, as a whole, as far as didn't have a lot of expenses to go out to print it. So
Excellent.
yeah, need new people to go in the directory, I would think.
Yeah, a lot of
Especially,
people have
especially
been-
if you're new. If,
Uh-huh.
if you've just moved into the area,
Otherwise, I still have old ones if anybody wants one for
Yeah.
donations.
but if you're new in the area, if you've just bought within the last year, or
Yeah, two.
year or two,
Yeah, easy.
touch base. Let us know your name, contact information, that kind of stuff, and we'll get you in the directory.
And we should probably, when we're ready to go on that, post it at the mailboxes so they
Yeah.
know we're ready to start the phone book part of it.
Very good.
Steve, you have anything else to add or inject or make up?
Anybody else? No?
Okay.
Do we have any discussion questions? Doesn't look like it. No discussion? Excellent. So if everybody's done,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
All right, I guess we can call it adjourned at 12:10. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
See ya.
thank you very much.